Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. I am super, super excited today. My guest, Lady Cleopatra Davidson, is here. She's a spiritual life coach, and she's going to share a little bit about who she is and what it is that she does. So, Lady Cleopatra, let the people know who you are.
Yes. So first and foremost, thank you for having me. It is an honor and a pleasure to make time for something as important as this, supporting one another and also supporting ourselves, right?
Yes.
So I'm a multi-business woman. I have my eyewear company, Blinked Out by LaLa LLC, where I create custom couture eyewear. So eventually I will be having men eyewear, and I do have kids, but some more new items will be available. I also have accessories such as pins and keychains that I decorate. And then I also have lip gloss. So that's going to be Kissed by LaLa. So I'm super excited about that because I love lip gloss. And then my second business is Bration LLC, and that's where I do my spiritual life coaching. And the whole premise of my coaching is to celebrate you, because that's something that I never did. I used to set goals and accomplish them, but I never sat back and celebrated myself and pour into myself by saying wonderful things. So I want to help others raise their vibration and to fall in love with themselves so they can fall in love with life.
Oh, that is so powerful. That is an amazing mission. So,
Thank
how
you.
did you get there?
By tripping. Oh my goodness. God came to me so many different times in different ways for me to love myself. And I thought it made no sense. I said, if I love other people, why does it matter if I love myself? Because I didn't feel love. I had a narcissistic mom. And then I just felt pain everywhere I went. So I just couldn't see beyond that. And then I tried to take my life in 2019 because, I suffered from depression from 12 to my 30s. And I just thought life would be so much easier. All my problems would be solved if I could just go home. So after the attempt, I actually wanted to live. I was like, wait, I feel like I'm supposed to do something. And so that's when my Blinked Out by LaLa started. It started as a hobby. And I used to get compliments because I used to just decorate them for myself because I love rhinestones. And someone mentioned you should start that as a business. So that's what I did. And then I just became an LLC. But yeah, so the creativity led to the spiritual coaching because it had me like get in alignment with, being a businesswoman and not being codependent on a relationship, but being interdependent and focusing on me and focusing on healing because I always, everything triggered my PTSD. So everything, made me either sad or angry. And so I had to go from being negative and pessimistic and sarcastic. Because you think being sarcastic is like okay and cute, but it's low vibrational. And I
Yep.
had to start being positive and optimistic and expecting the highest good. I used to try to convince myself I don't mind mediocrity. I don't mind being complacent. I don't mind not having enough. Listen, I'd have been homeless more than once. I'm tired of mediocrity and complacency. I'm ready to reach the stars and be abundant and prosperous. I didn't even know those things were an option. So I want to
Hmm.
share that with the world.
Yes, I do.
Mhm.
I think that's amazing because
Yeah,
we need that.
we do.
We need that. So tell us
Mhm.
a little bit about your journey.
Well, my biggest issue is because of my narcissistic mother. She was very supportive, especially financially, but spiritually and emotionally, I wasn't developed in a way where I loved on me. I didn't have boundaries. It took a long time to even understand what a boundary was. I couldn't figure out why can't I just give all of me? If I have the time, why can't I do? But it's like it's a spiritual factor. Like you can't give one person all of it. You have to reserve some for yourself. So it took a long time to learn that. And then like I didn't learn that from my mom because she didn't learn that from her mom. So a lot of
It was
the
a pattern.
journey were, yes. And I'm breaking generational curses. Like, I'm the first one not to get pregnant, under the age of 20. I'm the first person to graduate with my bachelor's. Like, I'm ready to break as many as God will let me, because we're unconsciously, and some of us consciously are passing down these toxic generational curses. And it's time for people to wake up and
Yeah.
to know that they have a choice to be happy. They have a choice to have joy. They have a choice to have peace. It's not the man, it's not the relationship, it's not the money, it's not the job. It's a choice to have happiness. Because when things go wrong, we have to still choose happiness. We can't let it waver when things aren't flowing the way we think it should. So I want to help people really look at challenges as a blessing and a life lesson instead of a curse, you know?
Yes. That's the thing, because in this life, we have to, I mean, honestly, I thank God for all of my experiences. I don't believe in regret. I feel like they were all necessary in order for me to become the woman that I am. Even the things that are so-called bad,
Right, right,
it was all necessary, and they were lessons and things,
right.
and sometimes I look back and I say, well, what did I learn from this?
Mm,
And then
mm-hmm.
another thing I really learned was, like I didn't even like bash my ex-husband at all,
Okay.
even though, I could,
Right,
but why?
right.
So what
The
was the
higher perspective, having compassion, like hurt people, and you're hurting because why would you hurt me? And I love you. So I'm just going to give you grace and stay away. Thank you for the experiences that we had.
Yep.
Now I know what I want and what I don't want.
Yes, exactly. Now I know. And that's so important,
Yeah,
so many people don't have a clue about that. And it's like,
yeah,
if you have had that experience, but then you don't want to do that again.
right.
And I tell people, I said, I feel like, I got some of my greatest gifts from that
Mm-hmm.
relationship, which were my kids.
Right,
And so people say, oh, well, do you regret? I said, well, no, because I don't regret my kids.
right,
And to me, that's what that would mean. And
right,
then the other thing is too, it wasn't all bad.
right,
Some
right.
good times because
Mm-hmm.
I loved him.
Right. And the angel numbers, they remind me when you need to release a person or a job or a situation, you thank them for the experience and you release them in love and light. I don't hate you. I don't wish death upon you. I'm not mad at you. We're not going to be sexual. We're not going to be kicking it, but I wish you the best, and a lot of people, I hate them. I'll never forgive them. They ruined my life. And like you're accidentally giving them your power to be free of how of it ending. You're energetically still connected, and all that does is bring baggage to the next situation.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. I mean, you have to cut those cords.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so many people don't. They be running around with these cords just hanging on them.
And you don't know.
No, you
You
don't know.
think I'm not with them anymore. I'm good. And then, like
Yep,
we said earlier when we were talking, then you end up in the same situation, different body.
yep,
And then the same situation, a different body.
yep.
And it's like, the common denominator is me,
Round
not
and
them.
round.
Yeah. And that's what got me on my spiritual journey too, dating the same type. That's why I wanted to take my life, because there was this gentleman, and I asked God, I was like, "Ooh, should I deal with him?" And I was listening to the radio, and the next thing the radio said was no, run or something. And I knew
Run
that was
away as
my
fast as
answer.
you can.
I knew it was the answer, but I didn't know in my heart. I had already made up my mind that I was gonna cross that line and be all the way inappropriate, and I did, and I was upset at myself because I saw the red flags. I heard God say no, and I did it anyway. And that's what we as people, we have to stop doing that. The intuition, are messages from our higher self, from our angels, from our ancestors, from our spirit guides. Don't do that. Don't. And we're over here like, I don't hear you. You have to listen, because then your heart is going to be broken. Your mind is going to be messed up. And for what? For somebody who couldn't stay because they're in an unhealthy place too.
Well, if you think about it, they weren't designed for you.
That part.
You know, it's like they weren't designed for you. I mean, and we've all done it. Been in relationships with people, you know, and I say the same thing, you know. I really do. I say, you know, my ex wasn't designed for me. But I love him because he was cute. You know, made me some pretty babies. But, you know, he wasn't designed for me. I mean, we really weren't even built for each other.
You know what? I love that you say that, because women especially take it so personal when a relationship don't work. And I want them to know it has nothing to do with you. It's not him not being able to commit, has nothing to do with your worth. Your worth is dependent on how much you give to another person without expecting something back. That is what your worth is dependent on. That just meant that energetically you're elevating to another level, so he's not to your highest good. So you thank him for the experience, because it did teach you something, because everyone we meet we're supposed to learn something from, but doesn't mean he stays forever and you force him into this picture that you need him to be in. That's not fair to him or to you, because he can't give you what you need.
Yep. Because you know why? He's not your person.
Right.
I tell people, I'm like, sometimes they're just not your people.
Right.
You know, or sometimes it was not meant to last.
Right.
You know, it was meant to be just a thing.
Yes.
You know, a blip. It wasn't meant to be a whole ass relationship. You know, you done turn this thing into something all big and
a lot of times the guy's like, "Ooh, I want you to have my baby." You like, okay.
Yeah, no. I you know, no. I'm gonna tell you, and my husband don't mind me telling. We got together. I said, we had been living together for a little while, and I was not a person that liked to live with men. It was not something that I said I would do. And it wasn't even a religious thing. I just feel like, you know, if you gonna live with me, you gonna marry me.
Right.
If you gonna be sleeping with me and all these other type of things that grown people do, then you gonna do what grown people do.
Right.
And so I said to him one day, I said, listen, now I'm not gonna be your girlfriend for no 10 years. You're gonna be running around here talking about this is my girlfriend 10, 15, 20 years down the road.
Right.
I said, because that is not who I am. I said, so what you gonna have to do is get your stuff together and marry me if that's what you want. I said, now if you don't, then you could just pick up your stuff and keep on stepping. You know, and I said that to him. And I really didn't think he heard me, but girl, he heard me.
Oh, that's amazing.
And he tells, you know, young guys about that. He's like, if you don't have a woman that, you know, stands up for herself and let you know, what she expects of you and what it is that she wants, you know, because he, you know, shortly after that, he put a ring on my finger because I said, if you like it, you got to put a ring on it. You know, because I'm old fashioned. That's how I, you know, that's how I eat. No.
But like you were saying before, you know, we don't know what we want. And then we lie to ourselves thinking that what we are accepting is okay, right? Because it's our normal, but it's an unhealthy normal. So, you know, it's definitely a mission for all us healers and light workers and teachers, just to let people know, you know, love will heal all the trauma and all the wounds, and we can start fresh wherever we're at. We don't have to wait, and we have the option to do something different. Yes, you did it like that, but you don't have to continue. But some people aren't tired. Like I was tired of tripping when it came to the toxic men. And I started asking myself, what could I have done different? Before I could only see what they did. They're liars, they're cheaters. I'm like, okay, but they're consistent. they was doing that from the beginning, so they're not doing anything out the norm. what did I do to contribute? And a lot of people think, well, I didn't cheat, I wasn't disrespectful, I didn't hit them, so there
But you
I didn't do anything. But you stayed, right?
allowed them to treat you the way that they did.
And you don't see it as because it's us, they don't see the offense. But if it was someone else, they could have compassion, like, oh, why is she saying? Why is he saying? But because we're in it, we're just accepting this abuse, whether it's emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, and just like in a fog, you know?
Yeah. Well, the thing
Mhm.
is we a lot of times don't realize our part in it.
No,
And then the other thing too is we stand on the side of blame, which is such a low vibration because it solves nothing.
it does.
You can blame people all day long. It will change nothing. It will solve nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But we stay in that energy.
Right.
And then we also, what we do is, what I learned from my own journey is I forgave him, but I had to
Nice.
learn how to forgive myself.
Yes.
Because I'm a forgiver anyway, because I believe in
Mhm.
that, because I know that those things cause diseases to keep those type of energies in your body.
It's so true.
And you get that stuff gets trapped in your cells and your nervous
Mm-hmm.
system. Next thing you know, they're diagnosing you with some autoimmune crap or
Mm-hmm.
cancer, or all kinds of stuff. And it's
It's true.
because of all of these type of things, this energy and these emotional things
Mm-hmm.
that got stored in there because you
Yeah.
forgive. And so what I had to
Right.
learn to do was I forgave him. I forgave him. Almost immediately. I was like, you know what? And that was one of the reasons why I went to counseling, so that I could
Nice.
be forgiven.
Right.
And I know that's something that, a lot of people in our culture, don't do.
No, and I understand some people say, "Oh, I can't forgive them. I just can't." And for me, I'm like, "Okay, well, think of it a different way. Forgive the experience, the negative experience that happened to you, and release that in love and light, because you're still connected to the experience by being upset.
Right.
But there is a way to disconnect from that energy if you're open to doing it."
Right. And that is true. And it's like, for me, I said, I need to forgive myself. And why do I need to forgive myself? I need to forgive myself for allowing myself
Mm-hmm.
to be treated in the way that I
Right.
knew I wasn't supposed to be treated, because I know I'm
Right.
a queen.
Mm.
I know that I'm a queen. I've always been treated like a queen. I can't even lie to you. My granddaddy treated me like a queen. My daddy treated me like a queen.
Oh,
I know I'm a queen. I knew that.
right,
So
right,
why I would allow somebody else to treat me not like a queen
right,
and to be emotionally, mentally, verbally abusive to
right.
me?
It's temporary insanity. That's all that is. You had to go just check that out and make sure it was okay. And you realize that's not what you need. Then
No.
like, let me go back over here where
Let me go back over
they
here
see
to
my
the,
worth.
to the castle.
They,
Look, let me go over here with the queens and the kings and the
right,
pages and
right.
all of that kind of stuff, and get away from the peasants.
Because girl, I was trying to rock with the peasants. I used to call it men dumpster diving. I would go get the brokest man. I mean, this is the thing. I knew I was a healer, but I didn't know what kind. So when I did my like Captain Saver person mission, right? My alignment was all off. So I'm over here helping the wrong folks. You know what I'm talking about? I had no boundaries. I don't know what really I'm doing, but I'm doing community work. And all I was doing was trapping myself in these negative environments, these negative people, because I didn't
Because
have the guidance that I
you
needed.
can't save somebody that does not want to be saved,
I didn't
or
even
that
know.
doesn't know they need to be saved. You can't.
Right.
It's like you just can't do it. I had that experience with my one of my sons. He
Mm.
used to call him Captain Saverho because he would always get these people. And one day I said, son, you can't save them. You are not that captain. Let go of that command. Let that ship keep passing on by, because that is not
Yes,
for you.
your healing spidey senses are tingling, right? But your signals are all crossed because you don't know who you are. So, you go to help the next person to you, and this so happen to be an energy vampire slash a narcissist.
Exactly. And you wonder why you feel so bad. And why you going through all this stuff.
Right.
Because
You're like,
it
but
starts affecting you in all kind of ways.
right, right. And in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything to hurt them. I don't understand where this is coming from. And then one day, God was like, it's your environment, boo. And once I started to remove, I really, how you book smart, but you're not like street smart. It was like, I don't know why I'm have all this negative energy. But once I removed myself, then I could think, I could breathe.
I do. And doesn't it feel so good?
It does, because it's like you're dealing with your own thoughts, your own emotions, not other people's, and then trying to hear your own voice at the same time.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, oh my goodness. So a 6-pack, married, owned in property, residential and commercial, going international, being a transformational leader, being an entertainer, clothing line. Like, I have so many ideas that I never let develop because I didn't know I was even dreaming. And the angel numbers let me know that dreams start as ideas. And the bigger your dream is, the more it scares you. That's where you should be going. So unlimited possibilities, wealth of knowledge, wealth of love, wealth of friendship, wealth of family, wealth
Of
of
the money?
self-love. Well, listen, I just wanted to get the spiritual ones out first because I wasn't focused on friendship and family. I was a workaholic. It was just hustle, hustle, hustle. And
Yep.
to the point where I forgot how to smile. I forgot how to laugh. I got super like, just if it wasn't about business, I'm taking a nap. So I'm learning to, lighten up
And have some fun.
and have some fun.
Yeah, that's the journey. That's the journey.
Mhm.
I had the same thing. I said, you know what? Like I would just try to work and work and work and work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, no, no, no. I'm taking time. I'm getting ready to sit down. I'm getting ready to watch me some Netflix because I need to zone out. I need to chill
Yes.
out and relax.
Yes.
I need to have some fun.
Yes.
Go to the beach so I can, be by the water and, do
Mhm.
things, practice my oral readings and all those things that I want to do.
Yeah.
But just, focusing on, just the lighter side of life.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
and that's not to say, you're not gonna, be doing your business and all that kind of stuff.
No, but
But taking some fun.
yes, you have to. Because I used to convince myself I don't have time for a nap. Yes, I do. If I had time to make time for a man that I know didn't love me, I have time for a nap. And I had to say that to myself in that way. Because, we lie to ourselves all the time. I don't have time for this. Okay, but you made time for the hot mess over there, you know?
You got time for anything you want to do.
It's true. It really is true.
And people say that because I tell them, I said, now, I don't have little kids now.
Mm-hmm.
All my
Mm-hmm.
children are way grown. I got a 12-year-old grandson.
Okay.
I said, I know though what it felt like because my kids were 19 months apart and then I had a bonus child too.
Mm. Mm,
So I
okay.
said, I know what it felt like to feel like you didn't have a minute to yourself.
Mm,
I said, but guess what? I could still take 5 minutes,
right.
when I go to the bathroom or go to get in the tub, because I
Mm-hmm.
love to take baths. So I would
Right.
go get in the tub, and that would be my time for me.
You didn't get the fingers under the door? Because
Girl, I
the
didn't play
kids
that type
nowadays,
of stuff. I didn't play that.
the finger,
I didn't have those type of toys.
listen, the kids, it's in the food because I talk to parents that they like the finger. It's the most disrespectful.
My kids,
No.
I would tear they behind up.
Yes.
I didn't
Look
even
at
play that.
that.
You better go sit down and go watch Danger Mouse or whatever was on, no. Mommy needs a few minutes.
You hear me?
So, and when they were real little, I would take them to like my grandmother's or one of my aunts and stuff. and I would say, can they stay here for 30 minutes? And then I would go to the park
That's smart. That's
and just sit in the
smart.
park.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would, when I lived close to the beach, I would go to the beach
Yeah.
and just zone out and relax and, listen to God and talk to God and
Right.
all of this kind of stuff when they were little. Cause I was like,
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna lose my darn mind.
You will.
And I
Honestly, them
was
kids is
19 months apart, girl. Like, they was like Irish twins. I said, no, but you do, you have a moment. You can take a moment.
Mhm. You have
You
to.
can get up a little bit earlier because I used to do that. I used to get up
Yeah.
early and take my time for myself,
Mhm.
and I was like, nah, you can do it. You just have to
Mhm.
make a decision that it's
Yeah.
important enough for you to
Mhm.
do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Make it a priority.
Like sometimes before I go to sleep, like I'm guilty because I know I got 100 things, and every day I have 100 things. What I didn't do yesterday, can finish everything today, right? And I have to say sometimes I love myself. This is why I'm taking a nap. Like I have to remind myself this is important. So yeah.
It is. It's like, okay, this is the priority, and this is where we're going with this, and that's how it's got to be right now.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
may not be like that every day, but guess
Right.
what? It's okay.
Right.
Okay. But I always tell them, I
Mhm.
said, you have a minute. Because people, oh, I
Right.
don't have time to meditate. Yeah, you do.
You do, but because it's, I don't know, I think it's a societal thing. We, assume we don't have it until you actually start doing. It's just like exercise. You can have time to do it, but you have to do it. Like there's no other way, or you won't find the time. So that's the thing. We have to just do it. And that's what Michelle MUPO, my mentor, she's the CEO of MUPO Entertainment, and her slogan is don't think, just do. And when it comes to doing like positive life changes, that's so important. Don't think about how you couldn't do it in the past. Don't think, just do what's the best choice for you so you can start living a life full of best choices and getting those best results.
Yes, absolutely. And whew, that is so exciting because so many people are, living their life beneath, I say living their life beneath their privileges,
Yeah.
and not actually stepping up to the plate,
Right.
or, we want to do stuff, but we don't actually do it.
No.
And we think about it forever,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and sometimes, there are times when you have to do that because you have to get clear on what you want,
Right.
what it is that you, I always like to say what you desire. It's
Mm.
really hard not to use the word want
Right.
because I never want to be in want.
Desire.
I always want to desire.
And I love that.
Yeah, because want to me feels like
We're lacking. Right. Right. Exactly.
so you want to always stay away from scarcity. So I say, it's what I desire. Like I even
Mm-hmm.
journal on that. I write down sometime on the top of the page, and I've been doing that a couple of times a week. What
Nice.
do I desire?
I need to start
What
doing that.
feels good to me?
Right.
And just sit with it and see
And
what
see, we
feels
don't
to you.
we don't ask ourselves that.
No.
Because I accidentally became a people pleaser. It's not like I thought, oh, this will be a great thing to do, But people are always asking me for something. And I felt like, well, if I could do it, why not? But then that goes back to, I didn't have boundaries. So, it's important to know that no is a complete sentence and
Yes.
that I don't have to explain why I said no. Just
No.
no, but it's no.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
exactly right. And the
yeah,
point of it is you don't have to explain it.
right.
And so many people, they feel like they owe people explanations.
Because from my perspective, you feel guilty standing up for what is making you feel uncomfortable or just something that's not aligned with what you want to do. And you care about their feelings more than your own. And even that wasn't on purpose. I used to work in the corporate industry and I would have a coworker who was stressing me out. And I'm crying myself to sleep because I'm trying to be diplomatic, right? How do I firmly say no and still, like not get out of pocket, right? And that used to just stress me out. And I think we care too much, of how the other person will respond. Now, this person making me feel disrespected, so they're not tripping about how I feel, but I'm in a conundrum because I'm trying to find a peaceful way And that's not healthy, you know?
I'm telling you, I had a lady that I work with come at me. I was in the middle of my divorce. And so I was trying to figure stuff out because my ex, he wasn't one that he didn't like to pay bills when we was together. And so he definitely wasn't trying to give me no money afterwards.
Right.
And so I'm trying to figure out, how to get all my bills paid. I'm working like a mule. I think I was working 2 or 3 jobs. And this heifer started bothering me at work. And so finally I looked at her and I said, listen, I just finished anger management. I said, but I don't think it took. I said, so if you don't leave me alone, and I had some other choice words in there, but I said, if you don't leave me alone, I said, when we leave out of here and we go in that parking lot, I'm gonna whip your ass. I said, because I don't have time to deal with your foolishness. I got too many other things on my mind that I got to deal with. My kids was something like 15 and 17 when we divorced. Keep me out of house and home.
Right.
And I was like, I don't have time to deal with your foolishness. I don't know what is wrong with you and why are you bothering me? I said, let me let you know how this is gonna go.
Right. And some people don't, they don't know how to do that, and so they can stay stuck in situations that should have been avoidable,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, we're going to land this plane. So
Yeah.
what I want to ask you is if there's anything in the world that you could change, what would that be?
For every negative thought, there's 10 positive thoughts. Because you can't go wrong with that.
That is so awesome. You didn't even know I was going to ask that question. That is so powerful. Okay, share with the people if you have anything coming up, like you have any workshops or any programs or anything like that that you're doing. And share with the people where the best place to connect with you at.
Okay, well, I always have a lot going on, so I'm gonna try to my best to narrow it down. So I'm working on a toxic relationship and healing book, basically about how to identify a narcissistic partner or potential partner, and how to focus on loving you, so that way you can not only discover what your life purpose is and your soul mission, but then once you pour energy into that, then that's when it's healthy to think about a partner. But we got to know who we are first without a partner to really thrive in life. So that's what the book is about. That's coming up very soon, and then with that will come a journal, how to manifest a fulfilling committed romantic relationship, because most of us, that's what we want to feel fulfilled, and want a romantic relationship. So and committed, because I don't know about you, but I'm not sharing. And a lot of us, like, we say we're not going to share, but then we meet somebody who's not energetically aligned, and then we share, and then we get our feelings hurt because we knew we didn't want to do that. No, not none of that.
I already did that. I did that already.
Right. Right. And then so I am a TV talent for MUPO Entertainment, which is a full service woman-owned entertainment company. I'm gonna have my own reality show. I'm still working out the name. I don't know that yet. But the basis of the show is, I used to tell myself, dancing was only for recreational. That's not something that I could do as a career. And, that's one of my limiting beliefs that I told myself. So I love twerking, very much so. And I've been a closet twerker. Yes. And, the club, like, but I've never done it like as a profession. And so that goes back to like having fun, right? And that's when I feel like my goddess energy, like whoever that girl is, that's who I want to be in my everyday life. Like, she's not the one who was crying over the coworker because she couldn't figure out a diplomatic way to tell her leave me alone. She got it going on. So I just want to embody that more. I want to spread that love. And I want to do like dance classes whenever I'm not, on stage, to just help people raise their vibration and to have fun in life. So those are the few things that I'm working on. And then they can reach me 2 different ways. So from like my eyewear is blinged, like past tense, blinged out by LaLa. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and then also my birth name, Lady Cleopatra Davidson. That's also LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram.
Awesome, awesome. And all of those details will be in the show notes. So you'll be able to click the link
Awesome.
because I think she sent them to me.
And if not, I definitely can.
So they'll be in the show notes. That way you can just click on them. It'll be on YouTube as well as Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can listen to this one. iHeartRadio, Amazon Music is everywhere that you want to be. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me, Lady Cleopatra. This has been so fabulous. This conversation went nowhere I thought it was going to go. But that's how these shows go. And I'm super excited to be here with her today, just sharing this beautiful, beautiful spirit. So make sure that you're following her, that you connect with her, because she's going to be doing big things. I can see that for her. So again, thank you for watching or listening wherever, and make sure that you are liking, sharing, and subscribing to wherever it is that you are watching or listening to this show. All right, so that is it for us. We have landed this plane. Thank you so much for joining.
Absolutely. So I just need your schedule for the rest of the month so we can do.
If you enjoyed this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening to or watching this show. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. We really appreciate the love. And if you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you are looking to grow and you would like to come on Straight Outta Savannah and share, make sure that you send me a message on whatever platform you are listening or watching this show. So again, my name is Tammi Morrison, and this has been Straight Outta Savannah. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye now.